Let's talk about staying on track in school. Now, I've been to school a lot. It took me 9 years to finish my bachelor's degree, working and going to school part-time at night. And once I was done, well, I tell you, I was glad. But whether you're in high school or you're in graduate school, you're going to be taking classes that you're not really interested in, or maybe you're interested in the subject, but the professor is terrible or boring or something. How do you stay on track in those situations? For me, a big key that I've found is nurturing a hunger for knowledge. And I think a better way to say that would be nurturing your curiosity as a person. Now, what does that mean? Basically, everything in the world is connected, okay? You're studying a subject that you have no interest in at all, but you need to learn it. You need this subject because it's in your degree program, and you're stuck in this class for an entire semester. What do you do with that? How do you stay on track? How do you do all that reading when you don't care about anything that you're reading? How do you take notes when the lecture's on something that you don't even care about at all? A big part of that, like I said, is nurturing curiosity. Now, we're all interested in something. You've got to be interested in something. If you're not interested in anything at all, you're probably depressed. So think about something that you're interested in, and find a way to connect what you're learning, even in those boring classes that you care nothing about. Find a way to connect what you're learning with what you're interested in. And everything is connected somehow. Believe me, it's all connected. A great tool for doing this, for connecting what you're interested in with what you're studying that is boring, that you just hate, a great tool is Wikipedia. Just for an example. Don't use Wikipedia for research. Don't write any papers based on Wikipedia articles. But it's a good thing to kind of pique your curiosity, to feed that hunger for knowledge. What you do is you go backwards. You start with a subject that you're not interested in, and you do a search on that. Whether it's on Wikipedia or a different website, but the internet is amazing for this. Do a search on the subject that you're not interested in, some aspect of it that just is not engaging to you at all. And then read that article. And every time there's a little link to something else out of that article to another article, if that link catches your interest, click on it and look at that article. If you look at the article and it wasn't interesting, go back and find something that you were interested in. And then just keep going and going and going through several levels. Keep clicking on stuff that interests you. And eventually you'll get around to whatever really does interest you, or something that really does interest you. So start at what you're not interested in and find ways to connect it to what you are. Because knowledge is not about just learning facts. No, to truly learn something, we need to connect it to something that we already know. Okay? If we just learn random facts that aren't connected to anything, what is that called? That's trivia. And trivia does you no good unless you're playing Jeopardy, or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, or Trivial Pursuit or something. But even the people who are really good at those games will tell you that they learned what they learned not by just memorizing lists of random facts that they weren't interested in, but by connecting the information to things that they already were interested in or already knew a lot about. So find those connections and be creative about it. Be creative with the information. If it's information, even if it's just rote learning that you have to do to pass a test, you know it's crunch time and you've procrastinated, even if it's just memorizing a list of facts, get creative with that information. Learn the information in a way that you enjoy. Do something with the information that you already enjoy. If you, a classic example, if you enjoy writing songs or poetry, find a way to incorporate the information into a song and learn it that way. That's just an example. Go wild. Because if you can't find a way to connect the information to something that you're already interested in, again, it's just trivia. Trivia. Speaking of games, school is a game. I don't care if you're in high school or in graduate school again. School is a game, and here's the rule. Okay, the rules are very simple. figure out what the teacher wants, and give it to them. You do that, and you win the game. You win the grade, you win the approval of the teacher. If you do it right, then you don't look like a smarty pants. And you can compare this game of being in school to working in a job. Okay? School is preparation for life, if you go about it correctly. Work is the same way. You need to figure out what the boss wants and give it to him. Even if you say, you know what, I'm never going to work for anybody, I'm going to start my own business. Well, you still have to figure out what your customers want and deliver it to them. So you can look at school that way. Every year, every class, every semester is a new instructor, a new opportunity to figure out what that person wants and deliver it to them. And you do that well, and you're going to win. You're going to win in school, and you're going to win in life. Even if you're studying subjects that you're not interested in. Now, if you're studying a subject that you don't particularly care for, keep reminding yourself of this. The globe is getting smaller, and everything is interconnected. Okay, everybody is becoming a specialist. Will you say that everybody's becoming a specialist, we should only study what we really enjoy? And you've got a point there. You need, as a specialist, you need to do what you do very well. But you also need to be able to relate to the rest of the world. If you do what you do well, and you're not able to communicate that to anyone else, or you're not able to connect that to anything that anybody else does, then your specialty is going to be lost. Everything is interconnected, and we need to find ways to connect what we do well with other people. So it's really about learning about yourself. School, if you look at it this way, is a way for you to learn how to learn. Does that make any sense? You're not going to be done learning when you get out of school, hopefully. If you are done learning when you get out of school, you're going to stagnate and you're not going to go anywhere. Not even in the direction you want to go. We need to be constantly learning as people. So school is all about learning how you learn best. This is where you can try, and you have an objective scale to measure your ability to learn by. So if you try to study one way and you get a D or an F on the test, you can say, wow, you know, I need to find a different way to study. I must learn a different way. So try speaking your notes into a tape recorder and listening to them while you run or something. Learn how you learn the best. That's what school is all about. If you're in a class that you hate, you can't stand it, you're not getting anything else out of it, at least get this out of it. Figure out how you learn the best. And if all of this fails, if you want to stay on track in school, you need to set a big goal for yourself, kind of a meta goal, something that is bigger than school itself, that is bigger than these, 4 or 5 or 8 years of your life. Keep that big goal in mind. Condense that goal down to a phrase, even if it's just getting to the end of this and getting that piece of paper saying that you've done it. Even if that is the only goal, hopefully the goal is something more exciting, like doing something that you love. But condense that goal down into a single phrase, and put that phrase in front of you, somewhere where you're always going to see it and remember it to help keep you on track. Put it on a bookmark, in your textbooks, write it at the top of a page before you start taking notes. Use it as your password to get into something on your computer. Put it on a screensaver on your computer. But keep that big goal in mind, because if you can do that, then you can get through the stuff in school that just makes it hard to stay on track. And this is also good preparation for life. Get creative with the information. Make some kind of a game out of giving the teacher what they want, or packaging the information in a way that is interesting to you. You learn how to do that, and you're going to be successful in a lot of other areas in life, even if it has nothing to do with what you're studying right now.